Welcome back everyone, Meanpooh here, and today I'm going to test out and show you some gameplay of F1 2018, which is a racing game and is the 10th installment in the Formula One video game franchise. It is developed and published by Codemasters and was released on August 24, 2018. The 2018 season includes all 21 circuits from the calendar and 21 drivers and 10 teams competing in the season. F1 2018 features substantial revisions to its career mode compared to previous systems. F1 2017 introduced a detailed progression system that allowed the player to focus on developing the engine, chassis, and aerodynamics of the car. This has been simplified in F1 2018 as Codemasters research demonstrated that players were losing interest in the game before completing the car's development cycle. You will develop your car by spending development points, which are earned by meeting research and development targets during the free practice sessions. Codemasters have introduced a wider range of free practice programs to the game in a bid to extend the game's longevity. At the halfway point of each championship, you have the option of ending the development cycle and banking all future development points for the next championship. The function has a renewed importance in F1 2018 as teams are subject to rule changes at the end of each championship, which can potentially compromise the car's performance. As with previous titles, F1 2018 includes classic cars or Formula One cars from previous seasons. The game includes the McLaren M23 and Ferrari 312 or 312T, which were driven by James Hunt and Niki Lauda during the 1976 championship. The Braun BGP 001, the car which Jenson Button and Braun GP won the 2009 World Drivers and World Constructors Championships, and the William FW25, the car with which Juan Pablo Montoya finished third in the 2003 championship. All of the classic cars that were featured in F1 2017 are included in F1 2018. As the game is based on 2018 championship, the circuit Paul Ricard will make its debut in the series. The Hockenheimring, which was last featured in F1 2016, will make its return to the game. Playing F1 was very close to playing the previous, and the thing that I noticed most was how tight the steering was. If you are playing with a controller, it is very difficult to slowly move your car to the left and right while going at a high rate of speed and could result in a crash if not careful. The AI is relentless in this game and will sometimes bump you to get ahead. I found that you can overtake the AI in the corners, but be careful as you can get penalties and could possibly damage your car. The sounds in the game are fantastic, the weather effects are good, and you can even see the reflections on the ground of signs, cars, trees, and water hitting the ground in small puddles. I noticed this at the 30-minute and 16-second mark in this video. While watching the replay, which is one of the things I've always liked to do in games like this, since games like Gran Turismo and Sega Rally, the camera will shake as the racers zoom by. If it is raining, you will sometimes see rain dropping over the lens. I recorded a couple of different modes for this video. The first part of the video that I recorded was a race on a clear day. Then I switched it up to having some heavy rain. I recorded medium preset 2 times so you can see the difference between a clear and rainy day, which resulted in at least a 10 FPS difference. I then recorded the game running the Intel HD 630 internal graphics. Believe it or not, it was somewhat playable. You will see the GTX 1050 overlay at the top, but notice the usage is at 0 and the temp shows that it was idle. I kept this on to monitor the CPU temperature. I then got some internal benchmarks from inside and outside of the car. Lastly, the internal benchmarks footage is from the replay cameras. Moving on to the performances, Ultra High, High and Medium on a clear day had very close GPU numbers, which consisted of an average of 69, 69, and 69.5 C. The CPU presented similar results with 90.5 across the board, with the exception of High, which was 90 C. FPS for Ultra High had an average of 36, High had 55, and Medium attained 75. The next set that I mentioned earlier consisted of heavy rain, and the settings were medium, low, and ultra low. Medium kept the same 69C while low increased to 70.5, and ultra low was pushing an average of 71C. I found that quite odd as the temp should have went down. One thing to consider is that there's a lot more going on, such as rain and puddles and also water film. So that of course contributes to increase of rendering, which in turn creates more heat. The CPU temp for medium decreased to 89, while low and ultra low decreased 1 degree, which was 89.5 C. One thing that is clear is that the FPS does increase as the preset changes. Medium had an average of 62.5, while low jumped ahead with 79.5. Ultra low brings it home with a whopping 86.5, and I'm sure it will be a lot higher if the day was clear. Lastly, the Intel HD 630 graphics had an average temp of 65C, while the average FPS was 21. Like I said, if you have this chipset and a faster CPU, you should get more performance. Sadly, the settings were ultra low and the resolution was fixed at 1536 by 864, so you may be wondering if it's for you. Well, if you like speed, limited amount of car types, a good career mode, and tight gameplay, then yeah. If you like rally racing or scrolling through what would seem like hundreds of cars with different manufacturers, then no. You are best to go with something like Forza or the Project Cars series. In my opinion, this game is geared toward car simulator fans, specifically those that are into the Formula 1. If you happen to get the game, a steering wheel should be on your list to pick up. I bet it would make a big difference while playing. As I wrap up here are some reviews on Steam. Also, I'd like to say that I am not a game reviewer. I try to give just a little overview of things that I think are important on a particular game. It is also my opinion, which may differ from yours. If you buy games based on game reviews, make sure to check many sources before making a game purchase, as it could save you some money and disappointment in the long run. With that said, I would like to thank all my subscribers for their support. It is very appreciated. And to those that help others in the discussion area, this really helps out a lot, as I'm just like most of you. I can't be here 24/7, even though it seems like it, and I have a full-time job. So the extra set of hands just makes things better for everyone in the community. And in closing, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you would like to see more, consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next game. Meanpooh, out.
Welcome to Monza, where the crowd are ready for today's action, for the Italian Grand Prix. We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's pole position. And Valtteri.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Wing damage, but only a few laps left. If you can live with it, stay out. Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
So, another fantastic after that fantastic Grand Prix. Here they come, your top three, out onto the podium.
laps left. If you can live with it, stay out.